and welcome to the first lesson of the Aloha series. And this lesson is all about meeting your new dance partner. And in this particular lesson, I'm going to show you how to hold your poi. And also give you a few tips on your first date with the poi. So there's at least three different ways I'm going to show you right now of how you can hold your poi, and I'll show you my preferred way. It's all about the peace fingers. So you're going to take the loop, the handle of your poi, and the way that I normally do it is I bring my two peace fingers in. Can you see this? Okay, and then I'll bring them down, and then I'll kind of swish the neck of the poi to the outside of my hand. So I'll do that again. So it's here, and then I'll bring them between the two fingers and swish them to the back of my hand so that they are on the outside. I like it this way because I feel like I can really let my fingers extend. I'm a dancer, so it's nice to let them flow with the poi. I just learned another way to hold poi from Sapphire, and it's very similar, except that you're going to take this loop and you're going to bring it up through the peace fingers like that, and then wrap around the two fingers, and now there's more of a lock actually. So this is, you don't have to worry about the poi flying off of your hand. So this may be a great way to start out. And then I switch it over to the outside of my hand and still have the same effect. I feel like it feels a little tight on my fingers. However, I think it's great. The other way that I've seen people hold poi is to still do the two fingers, switch them around, and then wrap around the palm and hold like this between the pointer finger and the thumb. And this is, this shortens the poi a little bit, and there's a whole realm of tricks that you can do with short poi. I play more in the realm of long poi. However, it is fun to wrap and then go into some short poi moves, so that is an option as well. So those are three different ways. Play with them all. For those of you who are wondering where to get a pair of practice poi, especially if you're doing this to eventually learn how to dance with fire, you don't have to. I love spinning non-fire. A little bit of self-promotion here. I just came out with my own line of soul flow poi, and I will also say that the inspiration for soul flow poi for me was really coming up with some designs and patterns with the goddess in mind. The whole world of poi spinning can be a very masculine dominated field, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But when I went out to look for poi that I wanted to practice with, I wasn't really finding anything that was catching my heart. So a minimum of 10% of the proceeds of Soul Flow Poi go toward a very important cause at the end of every single year, and we let everyone know and make that announcement around Christmas time. However, if you're not ready to make that investment yet, the good news is you can make poi right in the comfort of your home for nothing at all. Basically, all you need is a pair of socks, knee length, as long as they're long. And what I do is I take balloons and I fill them with rice. You can use tennis balls. I think tennis balls are a little hard and they hurt a little bit when they hit you when you're practicing and you're learning, so I highly recommend the rice balloons. The more important thing is to have an equal amount of weight in each poi, and you can experiment and figure out what works best for you on that journey. So getting back to the real purpose of this lesson, you know how to hold your poi now, you know how to make poi if you know where to go to learn how to make them if you need to. The next step is really getting acquainted with your new dance partner. So my my teacher, Nick Woolsey, once said, and I really value this advice, is that the worst thing that I could ever do as a teacher, and I invite you to take this with you to students that you may teach in the future, is to tell someone who has never played or spun poi before what to do in their first experience of it. So the end of this lesson is actually an invitation for you to take the next few minutes or the next few hours or the next few days and just go play and just explore. There are so many possibilities, and those possibilities are going to be even more infinite when you haven't had the conditioning that any of my instruction or anyone else's instruction might bring to your practice. So we just talked about your new dance partner and how to hold the poi, and in every single lesson of this series I'm also inviting everyone, especially the hoopers out there. I really think most of the hoopers who are going to come to this series already know how to hold poi, how to hold hoops, especially the off-body for off-body. But in case you don't, I highly recommend, if you don't have any hoops, get some, because these are super fun. And while the basics of the flow technique and the physics and all of that is going to be very similar with the poi and the hoop, the biggest difference is going to be in the grip. So with the hoop, I guess in this kind of center position, I'm going to hold it in my palms just like this, and as it comes down it's going to drop between my thumb and my pointer finger, and I can begin to spin them just like this. But again, this is your opportunity to get to know your hoops as well. And if you don't have hoops and you're doing this just with the poi for this series, that is totally okay as well. So have fun on your date, be good, and we'll see you in the next lesson. And highly recommend some of those, and until you are ready to make that investment. Moving into the next part of this lesson. Stop.
But you know what? I want to make the investment. I want to buy my poi at www.soflowpoi.com.